Olá, meus queridos e minhas queridas, tudo bom com vocês? Bem-vindos a mais um episódio de GreedFall, pessoal. E no capítulo anterior, a gente resolveu o problema do charlatão, pessoal, que aparentemente estava vendendo remédio falso para as pessoas aqui que já estão passando por um monte de dificuldade, né? Por causa dessa doença aí da cidade aí. E também ajudamos os historiadores, com a ajuda do embaixador, né? E agora, pessoal, a gente vai atrás do Náutico desaparecido. Ó, desaparecimento entre os náuticos. Então, vamos começar aqui mais um episódio de GreedFall, galera. Só falta essa missão aí pra gente finalizar. Aí daí a gente zarpa pra outra região, né? Que é a Nova Serine, pelo que eu entendi. E lá a gente já tem uma missão pra gente completar, que é da mercadoria lá, que a gente passou ilegalmente. Bom, vamos resolver aqui esse problema do Náutico. Diário do atravessador. Olha, tem roupa de marinheiro aqui também, que a gente poderia usar naquela missão anterior, né? Da carga lá.
Good day. Someone told me that you're a friend of Jonas's, the young cabin boy who's gone missing.
That's right, yeah. Are you looking for him?
Yes. Your captain asked me to go and find him.
Happy to hear he's taken the disappearance seriously. What can I do for you?
Perguntar sobre o gourmet. Vamos ver. Pergunte quando ela viu o gourmet.
2 days ago, in the evening. We went to have a drink in the tavern. Jonas, Lauro and myself.
Did anything seem out of the ordinary? Was he troubled?
Maybe a tad troubled. Like he was somewhere else.
Why would that be? Give me your best guess.
Boy, I haven't the faintest idea.
Perguntar sobre
What does
os
Jonas do in his
hábitos.
free time, when you're on land?
He just hangs around here or there. You know the cabin boys don't have half a sailor's wages. And when evening comes, we usually go down the tavern with good old Lauro.
Did he ever have one too many?
Never. He sips his pint like it was bad medicine. One drink lasts him the whole night.
Does
Do
he
amigo
know
dele?
anyone in Serene?
No one, far as I know.
E os inimigos?
Do you think he could have made himself any enemies?
I wouldn't think that for a moment. Jonas has a good heart and he steers clear of trouble and troublemakers.
I don't know where to start with this. Do you have any idea?
No. Lauro won't stop telling anyone who will lend him an ear that the boy was carried off by thugs.
And you don't believe him?
I like Lauro, don't get me wrong, he's like a brother. But to be honest, he drinks a little more than he should. The itch for a drink gets us all, but to him more than others, and when you drink too much, the imagination wanders. Here, yesterday, it was me who tied one over, and I thought I heard Jonas's voice by the canal. I called back to him, as you guessed, but then nothing. Drink. It blurs the senses.
Beleza. Ah, vou perguntar sobre o Capitão Vasco. Vamos ver.
What do you think about Captain Vasco?
He's a damn good navigator, and an excellent leader of men. He knows his craft well, in spite of being so young.
How old is he?
He's not seen his 25th year yet. If he keeps it up, he'll be an admiral one day.
Beleza, e embora.
I need to be going.
Legal que o nosso capitão do nosso navio lá é o Vasco, né? Não é muito uma coisa boa, não. Foi de Vasco. Desde que o Gourmet sumiu, cara. Tava no Vasco, cara. Bom, vamos falar com o Lauro, né? Que é outro cara que viu o Gourmet pela última vez. E vocês perceberam que tem um padrão? Tudo acontece naquela taberna lá, né? Tudo é a taberna ali. As tretas. Mais algum baú aqui? Deixa eu ver. Não? Vamos falar com o Lauro aí.
Good day, sailor. I've been told that you know the missing cabin boy well. Is that right?
You talking about Jonas? You bet your stars I know him. But like I've been crying to the 9 deaf winds, he didn't go missing, he was taken.
Foi levado? Perguntar sobre o Gourmet. Perguntar o que ele sabe, né?
Were you a witness to the event?
Yes, I was. Even though I'd had a few tumblers in the belly, I hadn't yet lost my head. The other day, in the tavern, I saw him talking to a well-dressed man, surrounded by some other sly ruffians. And then when we left, him and I, Flavia left a little earlier, you understand? Well, those brutes were there, waiting for him. They just up and took him like that. Grabbed his arms and puffed.
Ah, então eles sequestraram ele, né?
Vanished.
Why didn't you intervene?
I tried to, believe me. But my legs betrayed me. Wavering they were. And I fell into the gutter.
Did you report this to the captain?
Unfortunately not. I know all too well what weight my words carry. Even Flavia treated me like a drunken fool. And the captain? No, not telling him that. I still have some pride left. You get me?
Did Jonas seem troubled to you the night he disappeared?
Maybe. For sure he wasn't his usual self.
Do you know what was on his mind?
No. No idea.
Então ele estava sendo seguido,
Why
né?
would anyone want to snatch a mere cabin boy?
How would I know? Jonas is a gentle boy who keeps his head down. You think my story is nothing but mist too, don't you?
It's just that I can't imagine a gang of thugs hoping to get a ransom for a cabin boy. Did anyone else see the kidnapping?
There was still a small crowd in the tavern. But outside, I seem to recall that regular being there. We play cards with him from time to time. Kind of fellow who plays from morning to night time to be that skilled. But now and again he comes out. When nature calls, you know. I kind of remember his face being there.
What do you
Capitão
think about
Vasco.
Captain Vasco?
He's a just man who knows his knots. He's well appreciated by the crew. It's a pity that he hasn't much heart for laughs now and again. Always seems unhappy, our captain.
Beleza.
Thank you, Lara. I need to be going.
Strange story.
Bom,
this
pela
is.
informação dos dois aí, o Gourmet ele estava nervoso na noite que desapareceu. Aparentemente ele conversou com um cara suspeito, bem vestido, provavelmente acompanhado de alguns capangas. E parece que esses capangas e esse cara levou ele, né? Sequestrou ele. Pode ser uma jogada mentirosa dos caras? Pode ser. Mas aí a gente vai procurar mais pistas agora, né?
Tavern keeper.
I see you're back. Can I pour you something this time?
Desaparecimento do Gourmet.
I'm looking for a Naut, a young cabin boy who's been missing roll call for 2 days now.
A Naut, you say? That's not a lot to go on. There are quite a few that come to my tavern.
According to one of his fellows, he would have been taken right here.
A kidnapping. In my establishment. You surely jest. At least I hope you do. I would have noticed. That doesn't hold water.
Sobre a
Someone
testemunha.
told me about one of your faithful clients. A big gambler, it would seem.
I see. An able-bodied man. Passes his time lightening the pouches of sailors coming through.
Where might I find him at this time?
Here? He would never give away his chair at his table. Anything else?
Não, só isso mesmo.
I need to be off. Farewell.
Goodbye.
Bom, cadê o cara? Ah, é um bêbado? Ih, rapaz. Testemunha é um bêbado, cara.
Who are you? I don't
E cego
recognize you.
também, parece.
Am I in your debt?
No. Have no fear about that. It's for a different reason that I am here. I'm looking for a Naut that disappeared 2 days ago, after visiting this establishment. A young cabin boy. 2 members of his crew accompanied him.
Yes, that does ring a bell. I've played with the 3 of them.
Perguntar sobre o Gourmet.
What can you tell me about the boy? How was he that night?
He seemed rather nervous, as if he was worried about something. Didn't feel like playing, that I remember. And he must have been right to be nervous, if he's disappeared.
Perguntar sobre a noite do
Tell me
ocorrido.
what happened that evening.
A rich merchant came in, with a band of strong arms. The kind of man you can round up for a few coins.
Ah, então de fato aconteceu, né? Foi um cara rico com uns
They
capangas
exchanged words with the cabin boy.
que veio falar com ele.
Defensive, not sitting pretty. And then they finally left.
And after that?
It just so happens that I did go out for a breather. I needed some fresh air. And I think I might well have seen those same men grab him. But that was none of my business. I wouldn't have thought that they were kidnapping him if that's what it was. They weren't particularly rough
Ah,
with
não.
him.
Não tá sendo sequestrado, não. Ele vê os caras agarrando um cara e levando embora. Ah, não tá sendo sequestrado,
Who was the
não.
rich merchant, do you think? A jilted lover? A moneylender?
No, sir. You are in luck. It so happens that I know the man. It was Sir Fontaine, that merchant.
Where can I find him?
He has a house in the wealthy boroughs, just off the canal. A stone's throw from the Theleme embassy.
Thank you. You've been immensely helpful.
This man is completely owned by his love for the game. Do you think we can trust him?
What would he gain from lying?
I have no idea. But what would any wealthy merchant gain from holding a penniless child?
Pois é, né? Vamos investigar aí agora. Chegando aqui na casa do rico. Vamos ver o que tá rolando. Cadê a casa dele? É ali, ó.
Might I help you, sir?
I would like to have a word with Sir Fontaine.
He is absent, but the lady of the house could certainly receive you. Enter, please.
Beleza, estão esperando a gente então? Estão esperando a gente, galera. Cara da família Fontaine. Fontaine é o nome da região, de uma região lá do Genshin Impact, né?
Oh, I know you. I've seen you at court. You are Lord Sardet. And to what do I owe the honor of your visit, Excellency?
I would like to have a word with your husband.
He is not here, but perhaps I could be of help.
It concerns a delicate matter. We're looking for a missing cabin boy. According to witnesses, he had an argument with your husband before being taken.
I see. I am afraid that you have been misled. You seem to have come to the wrong conclusion. The cabin boy you speak of was not taken. He has simply returned home.
Excuse me, but I'm not sure I understand.
Don't you see, Your Excellency? We got our son back.
O filho deles. Fale sobre a
I'm
alteração.
very surprised. Several witnesses confirmed that your son had a fight with your husband, and that his men escorted him from the tavern using force. If he had joined your husband willingly...
Witnesses? In a tavern? And you choose to believe these drunkards over a respectable family?
These witnesses are all in agreement, and it's their testimonies that have led me to your doorstep.
My son was probably shocked to have found us. My husband and the other men might have simply had to carry him. A gesture that your drunkards must have misunderstood.
Perguntar como eles
What was your son
encontraram.
doing on a Naut ship? Why would they have taken him?
It is what they do. Through pacts and contracts, they steal away young children from their mothers.
What are you talking about?
I would have thought that a legate would know these things. But it is true that you are young and inexperienced. It seems that you have been protected from the turpitudes of our own nation and their terrible allies. This horrible, constant ransoming that they put us through. But I will not say another word. You will have no trouble verifying the details now that you know what to look for.
Where might I find your son now?
I cannot say, Excellency. You must understand why. Until the Nauts have set sail, we live in fear they will take him back from us.
This pact. It sounds like some fear-inducing story.
The Nauts wouldn't be the first to recruit through dubious means.
Então tem um acordo, né? Entre os náuticos e eles. Supostamente, né? Ela tá dizendo que só recuperou o filho, mas deve ter coisa por trás disso tudo também. Bom. Vamos falar, eu acho que com o Capitão Vasco. Sobre essa situação aí. A gente tá quase chegando no level 4. Quando a gente chegar no level 5, pessoal, a gente pode desbloquear a gazua. Aí a gente vai abrir esses baús aí que estão aí. Só espero que tenha algum equipamento legal lá dentro, né? Pra gente.
So, are you ready? Can we weigh anchor?
We should be able to set sail with the tide, as agreed upon. I'm still without news of my cabin boy, but we will have to do without.
É esse aqui, ó.
I spoke with a woman who told me she was the mother of the cabin boy. She claims that her son was taken from her.
Taken? Her son is sea-gifted. His parents were required to give him up, to honor the terms of a contract.
A contract? But what kind of contract are we speaking of?
A commercial contract. In exchange for services rendered by the Nords, some families cede more than gold.
Ah,
In
olha
some
aí, ó.
cases, nations even trade some of their subjects before they're born. I wouldn't be able to tell you the condition of Jonas's contract. I didn't even know he was originally from Serene. But what I can tell you is the young man hasn't seen his parents since he was a small child. And ever since, he's been a Nord. Our ships are his home. And we are his only family.
Olha aí. Eles fecharam um contrato com os caras de serviço e em troca o filho deles iam trabalhar para eles, né? Pelo resto da vida aí, desde o nascimento até o resto da vida. É um ganha-ganha, na verdade, isso aí, né? Porque aí eles não acabam os náuticos e os caras continuam tendo um serviço de qualidade. Bom. Perguntar sobre o contrato entre náuticos e Fontaine.
You must know her. That rich family that lives near the docks. She told me a strange story about her son who was a cabin boy on our ship. She said that he was taken when he was a child due to some contract with the Nords.
Who was a cabin boy? Do you mean he's no longer one?
They took him back to bring him home.
Well, that is very unpleasant news to Sardet. We need to do all we can to bring the boy back to his ship. Since time immemorial, there's always been a certain price to pay for the services of the Nords. Children born on their ships belong to them. It's the rule of the sea. But certain contracts are so important that they also require children to be offered in exchange. From time to time, the congregation has passed such accord, and certain noble families had to give their children up.
Are you telling me that the Fontaines lost their son because of some agreement signed between my uncle and the Nords?
No. That pact ended a long time ago. This cabin boy couldn't have been a part of that contract. But Sir Fontaine has made a fortune trading with the Alliance, via ships.
Do you mean he would have offered up his own son in exchange for wealth?
Well, he probably did it before the birth of the child, and regretted it afterwards. But that is of little importance. What counts most is that you bring the boy back to the Nords as quickly as possible. Breaking a contract with the seafarers has always cost us dearly. Our nation could feel it in its coffers.
I will do my best.
A father selling his own son for a few boat rides.
Olha aí. Descobrimos aí, ó.
That is ugly.
Lady Fontaine didn't seem to have any knowledge of that detail. That could be of use to us.
Beleza, vamos lá falar com ela. Descobrimos aí, ó. O filho é oferecido antes do nascimento em troca de algum serviço especial, né? Pelos náuticos aí. Aí os náuticos oferecem esse serviço aí. E você garante o seu filho para os náuticos, que assim faz com que também eles não acabem, né? Porque sempre vai ter alguém novo para ser treinado como náutico. Só que o problema desse casal aí é que eles não fizeram outro filho ou filha, né? Aí só tinha esse menino aí que eles ofereceram como recompensa aí pelo serviço. Aí deu essa treta toda que a gente tá resolvendo agora aí. Agora a questão é, ele foi levado. Será que ele quer ficar aqui ou ele quer continuar com os náuticos? Isso aí que a gente vai descobrir. Vamos interrogar a mãe dele aqui.
Excuse me, madam, but I haven't quite finished my inquiry yet.
If you would be so courteous, I would like you to leave. I have told you all that I have to say.
Eu vou ter que ameaçar, mano. Não tem o que eu posso fazer aqui.
Jonas was taken away by force against his will by armed men.
That is not true. Completely false. He...
Enough! With every word, you are a step closer to a prison cell.
Prison? But what would be the charges?
Kidnapping. Whether Jonas is your son or not, he is a naught that you kidnapped and locked up. In the eyes of the prince, you have committed a crime that puts the interests of the congregation at great risk.
I beg of you, Your Excellency. Have mercy on a poor mother who is looking
Ih,
only
perdi
to recover
reputação
her
com
child.
os
We
mercadores.
didn't kidnap our own son. And if you need to speak with him to be convinced, please do. He's in our warehouse, near the Coin Guard Plaza, next to the canal. I am certain that once you have heard his account, you will see the tragedy in our predicament and help us.
I regret threatening that woman.
You didn't have a choice. She was lying, and we need to find that boy.
Beleza, vamos lá. Perdemos reputação com os mercadores, né? Mas isso aí é bem fácil, era fácil de resolver, né, na verdade. Era só o pai e a mãe dele chegar lá pra ele e conversar com ele, assim. Não precisa ele estar morando com eles, provavelmente já que ele já deve ser adulto, né? É só eles conversar com ele e tal, e ó, visite a gente quando você estiver aqui e tal. Venha visitar a gente, pronto, mano, resolve, né? Não precisava sequestrar o cara. Que já vive com os náuticos aí, a vida toda dele, né? É só convidar ele pra ir na casa deles, pra conhecer o pai e a mãe, pronto. Ó, acho que eles estão aqui, hein?
Sardet, what are you doing here?
I've come looking for your son. The Naughts are worried about his disappearance.
Those Naughts took him from us, but now we've got him back, and he'll be staying with us.
Would you be so kind as to hear what I have to say, Sir Fontaine?
Meteu carisma aqui, ó. 100%, cara, de carisma. Pra convencer ele.
You've taken your son against his will and have him locked up like merchandise in a warehouse. Is that what you call being a good father?
Pois
If
é.
I hadn't taken him back, he would have been hauled off on one of the cursed ships.
If that's what he wants, then why would you want to stop him?
For his mother. She misses him so. But in the end, you may be right. My boy has changed. He hasn't spoken a word to me since we've been in this precarious predicament.
Very well.
Take the
Ó,
key
reputação de novo,
take him
ó.
away.
Mercadores, ganhamos de novo.
Cursed be the day I delivered my son unto the Naughts.
All children leave the nest one day or another, sir. Farewell.
Prontos. Resolvemos aí a situação. Que era muito fácil, era só o pai e a mãe conversar com ele, né? Ó, dizer, ó, queremos conhecer você, você é nosso filho, venha nos visitar de vez em quando tiver na região. Pronto, cara, não precisa sequestrar o cara, mano. E vocês viram que dá pra fazer essa missão de duas formas, né? Eu poderia fazer agora como eu fiz, convencendo o cara, porque eu tenho carisma, né? Ou então ameaçar e atacar todo mundo aí. Ó, e aqui a gente quebrava, ó. Nível de ciência 1. E aqui tá o filho deles, que já é um adulto, na verdade. Um jovem adulto.
Who are you?
My name is Sardet. I am legate of the congregation. Your captain has sent me to find you.
And were you able to convince my father to allow me to go free?
Yes. even if I had to bend his arm a little.
That doesn't surprise me. He seemed to have no intention of changing his mind. I feel more sorry for my mother. She seems so sweet and happy to see me.
You don't seem to be all that close to your parents.
I hadn't seen them since I was 5 years old.
Ah, então ele não foi levado quando era bebê não, 5 anos.
Capture me and lock me up in this warehouse. Hard to grow close after all that.
Pois é, né?
My family is the Naughts. I am sorry for my parents, but that is the way of it now. Can I go home?
Pode ir, meu camarada.
You should still go and say farewell to your mother. Then find your way to the ship. I'll see you there.
Informe o Capitão Vasco. Beleza, pessoal. Finalizamos aqui a missão do Vasco. Ainda bem que o filho dele não foi de Vasco, né? O filho do cara aí, o gourmet do Vasco aí não foi de Vasco. Ainda bem que eu tinha carisma. Se eu não tivesse carisma, provavelmente eu teria que atacar o pai dele, né? Aí não ia dar muito certo não, acho. Bom, cadê aquela escada que eu vi que tinha aqui, cara? Tinha uma escada aqui. Ah, aqui, ó. Bom, vamos voltar lá com o Vasco. Olha, tava cheio de guardas aqui, ó. Tinha esses dois, mais uns 3 lá embaixo, né? Junto com o pai do menino. Bom, e com isso, pessoal, a gente finaliza as missões aqui do porto. E agora chegou a hora da partida, né? A nova região.
Sir, are you ready? Can we weigh anchor? We should
Dá
be
não,
able to
cara,
set
peraí.
sail with the tide, as agreed upon. My cabin boy, Jonas, is back on ship. I have you to thank, I imagine.
You do. It's a rather sad affair, and though solved, leaves a broken family behind.
All we can do is plot a course. No one tells the wind what to do. I do thank you. I didn't think you'd go to so much trouble for a cabin boy. Your actions bring you honor.
Beleza. Oh! 3 de reputação com os náuticos. Olha. Chegamos no level 4. Aê. E ganhamos uma habilidade aqui, ó. Habilidade. Ponto de habilidade e um ponto de atributo. Vamos colocar aqui. Bom, habilidades, cara. São 3, ó. Armas de uma mão, aí tem arma de fogo e armadilha, né? Que é a nossa classe. Bom, falta colocar em arma de fogo. Arma de fogo causam mais dano. Mais 20% de dano. Interessante. Eu já coloquei uma em armadilha, ó. Agora arma de uma mão, e também coloquei um ponto em armas, arma de fogo e arma de uma mão, né? E agora um ponto de atributo. Olha, esse aqui, ó, a gente pode usar armaduras mais pesadas, ó. Tolerância. Força. Necessário para tal. Melhorias de armas brancas de uma mão ou de 2. Isso é muito bom pra gente melhorar nossas armas. Poder mental. Feitiço. Isso é pra classe mago, né? Então. Determinação. Amuletos, ó. Também deve ser pra mago e pra nossa classe também. Que a gente também usa alguns amuletos. Armadura mais pesada, tolerância. Até então, os mais legais. É tolerância e força. Que um aumenta o dano e o outro faz com que a gente use outras armaduras pesadas. Beleza, colocamos aqui um ponto em força. Deixa eu ver se eu tenho uma arma aqui. Tenho esse machado, 135. Ah, eu não tenho requisito para equipar esse machado. Aqui eu tenho uma bota que não é verde. Uma luva que também não é verde, então não vale a pena. (18 munições e 8 poção de cura. E a gente tá na metade do level 4. Praticamente indo pro level 5. No level 5 a gente já abre os baús, né? Que estão fechados aí. Bom, meus queridos e minhas queridas, essa missão foi longa. Então no próximo capítulo a gente embarca num navio e vai pra Nova Serine. Então vou estar finalizando esse episódio aqui, meus queridos e minhas queridas. Então, uma ótima terça-feira a vocês, uma excelente semana a todos vocês também. Um grande abraço e a gente se vê nas próximas gameplays. Valeu, meus queridos e minhas queridas. Até a próxima!